Once again, it's on. Divine peace, divine love, divine light, family. It's your beloved brother Cedric X with my mighty good brother Jason Muhammad. And you are now tuned into Solution, Separation, 1090. My good brother, how you feeling today?
Assalamu alaikum. Doing very well, brother. Praise be
Yes,
to Allah.
sir.
Doing very
Yes,
well,
sir.
feeling good. You know, had a strong outing yesterday.
Mm,
A mighty FOI. That felt real good to be out
yes,
amongst people, you
yes,
know. And the spirit was high energy, positive energy,
yes, sir.
well received by the people, whether
Yes,
we were
sir.
on the corner or knocking on the door of their houses. And, you know, the way we just hit the block, you
Mm,
know, was so beautiful, brother. And as we hitting the block and going door to door, cars pulling up on us and pulling over, and
yes, sir.
you know, people just talking to us, telling us that they love us and how much they
Mm,
love the minister and respect everything that we're doing. So I'm feeling good, brother. It's the day after. I'm still in the, you know, the afterglow of that blessing, brother. You know.
all praise is due to Allah. Yes, sir. Yesterday was definitely a beautiful day, brothers and sisters. What my brother is referring to, every Saturday we do something called Sacrifice Saturdays, and we get out in the community with the number one program, the number one black program, our Final Call newspaper.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, and yesterday we had some fellow brothers in town to visit us. To soldier with us. We called the I-90. We
Right.
Buffalo, Utica, Syracuse. But yesterday was brother from Buffalo and Utica, and we went hard.
Yes, sir.
We were on the east side of the city here in Rochester. And it was a beautiful, beautiful outing. I definitely enjoyed myself. Being amongst the brothers, and like
Right.
my brother said, the reception. Especially in this time. Because
Right.
the city and the world is in an uproar. In the United States of America, United
Right.
States of America, due to this passing of the torch of Pharaoh coming with this national or whatever this election.
Right.
So just to see the people receiving us and looking forward to seeing us, that's the word I kept hearing. We happy to see y'all. We want to see you all more in the communities, in our neighborhoods. We need you all. We have tragedy after tragedy.
Right.
What was that? Friday, it was a shooting. And then, with us still lost, as a people, we're out last night, and we lost some more lives last night, so we had to stay busy and work on getting our people,
That's right.
because we're in a dark hour, brother, in a
Yes,
very
sir.
dark hour. So in that dark hour, we have to bring divine light.
That's
And we
right.
we
That's
had the
right.
man, we had the shining star,
I know that's right.
our Messiah. So we are bringing towards you episode 4, aftermath, the Criterion and Satan's Rage, part 2. We gave you part 1 about a week and a half ago or so, and now it's the comeback. So we're
Yes,
gonna
sir.
let the minister go ahead and bring forth more divine energy for our brothers and sisters in this episode. So get your seatbelts, get your notepad, and prepare to
Definitely.
learn some more.
Definitely.
Go ahead and pull up the first portion, the first scene that we have for you today.
That's Satan. That's the mind of Satan. You know how Satan's mind begins? It begins with these words. When asked, why didn't you submit when I commanded you?
Right.
And the satanic mind says, I am better because I am made of fire, while he is made from dust. The moment any of you, any of us, begin to think we're better. We start mistreating those whom we think are less. So white people think naturally. This is not a fault, this is their nature, that they are better. Look at the words. Let us make man in our image and after our likeness. How did the Caucasian come into existence?
Teach.
You can bring your scientists and we'll sit down. Because my teacher said, if you can prove one word that he taught us as false, he will pay with his life. And I am his student, I'll pay with mine because I believe in every word that he taught.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're not a natural man, you're a grafted man.
Go ahead.
With a birth control mechanism, killing the darker, saving the lighter, marrying the lighter on to the lighter, killing the darker of the lighter, marrying that on. The lighter with the lighter until you get black, you get brown, you get red, you get yellow, you get white.
Yes.
And when the white man was made, his father was a liar. His father was a murderer.
Murderer.
Yes, sir.
So they're born with lie and murder in their nature.
That's true.
How do they lie so easily? If you could read the record, the police records of what they say in their reports that they write, they have concocted lies to justify their murder of our brothers and sisters.
Yes, sir.
Why are the police quitting now? You should all quit. Because if your presence there thinks that you're going to come into the black community and do what you've been doing, you better quit. The jump out boys better stay in the white community. Don't come where we live and jump out. Because you may never get back in.
Say that.
Real talk now.
Yes.
We can't take it no more. We won't take it anymore.
That's the first scene, brothers and sisters. And then that's how we come in part 2. Right behind. That energy we have more. We got to follow through with more of that. That was passion. Passionate. Very passionate. Minister. Real talk right now.
He said that in the past, brother. He said that in the Savior's Day a few years back when he asked the question, what are you trying to force us to do? Because it seems like this bloodshedder.
Yes.
You know, it's like if you have a dog, brother, and you train that dog to fight, you got to be careful that he doesn't get a taste of human blood. Because then he'll revert back to his undomesticated ways. And once he gets that first taste, he's going to look for more. And that's what we see with the savage behavior of those that are supposed to protect and serve. They have, it seems, a bloodlust to kill the black man. And this, as he said, is directly from their father, who was a liar and a murderer from the beginning. And it seems as though they're little by little trying to force us to go in a direction that would not be wise for us, just because we don't have the same type of weaponry that they have. You know, they've flooded our neighborhood with, you know, these defective weapons, but at the same time, they've flooded our minds with this mindset where we see ourselves as an enemy of each other before we see who the real enemy is. So they're trying to goad us to move in a direction that we're really not built to go for, because we can't take it anymore. You can't back any live being into a corner and not expect him to try to fight their way out. That's unnatural. The turn the other cheek philosophy that they've given to us is very unnatural.
Yes, sir.
For
Yes,
us. And it's to the point where I would say that the one thing that is coming from this is that we're breaking off those unnatural shackles, and we're realizing that we can't continue to turn the other cheek. We don't have any more cheeks left.
Yes, sir.
And this young generation, brother, they not trying to hear
none of that.
They would say they're not trying to hear none of that.
No, sir.
They don't hear none of that.
No,
and
sir.
They have grown up so far removed from the church experience that their parents and definitely their grandparents had, that they're not the docile type.
Right.
They're not the domesticated type.
Yes, sir.
They need guidance, they need direction, but they're not going to turn the other cheek. They're not, unless they turn to go pick something up and throw it.
Right.
But the youth today they're very much in the same vein as the youth that we see in Palestine, who would hurl a stone at a tank because they've been pushed to that point where they can't take it anymore.
Right.
So the minister has tapped into that mind of our people, where they are to the point where they can't take it anymore. And I'll end this train of thought with this, brother. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was asked how to go after our people.
Yes, sir.
And his response was, go after the youth, and then the older ones will follow out of shame. And many of our older generation, they do have a sense of shame because they know that the tactics that they have been employed, that they have employed to try to find a way to improve the quality of life that our people are living, they haven't worked. They haven't been successful. We're spinning our wheels. And so they don't even have the same spirit or energy to sell the singing, the song and dance of be all you can be and what you can do in this country. And it's something that they can talk about, but it's not something that they can show and prove. And so our youth aren't trying to hear that. Our youth grow up like Missouri. They're the show me state. You got to show me something. And if you can't show and prove, they're not trying to hear it. They'd rather go their own way and try to figure it out as they go along than to continuously do that which they see brings no results, but only more of the same. So the minister tapped into that. They have pushed our people into a corner, and now the youth are taking the lead, and the older ones are actually following by shame and recognizing that they have to do something better, because this country is at no time soon going to concede or give us anything. This is something that we're going to have to do for ourselves.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Beautiful, beautiful. Man, I don't know the exact scripture. I might be quoted wrong, but I know it's something to the effect of old men or old folk will dream dreams, and the young ones will see visions. Or so just with that thought in mind, that the rebel heart that our youth has, that spirit of fight, there's no backing down, and they're definitely not with none of this. I want to wait till you can show me something. No, if it's not exactly what they need at that moment, they're going to take it.
They're going to take it, brother.
And that's what I love about our youth. That's what I love about this generation, because it reminds me, and I see how the devil with the media, how they work so hard to continuously try to turn the youth with even with the ones that make the certain sound of music, they still, within some of their music, they're still dropping knowledge. So they're twisting the system against the system, because they'll try to utilize the certain ones that get the fame, and these same ones are turning to ones that give them knowledge, and they still bring that same energy. I'm seeing a lot of that with the youth today. Just that firepower, that energy that, like I said, they're not backing down for 1 second for what the enemy is trying to force upon them. This is not the time for that. And how you said that with the shame of the elders, knowing that the methods were not working. Like just again, even with this election talk, we keep voting in another ruler, expecting change. Okay, so I'm going to keep running my head into a wall and say, hey, one day either this wall's going to break down or my head's going to smash. So one of the two, and we know what's going to happen first. Like I mean,
Right.
but again, that's why I say I'm blessed. We're blessed. I'm divinely thankful and grateful that we have such a beautiful teacher in our midst today, in the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Yes.
And from the teachers that he lives from his teacher, you know, the divine leader, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I mean, one day, sooner than later, brothers and sisters, and we're not making this because this is not a cult following, but when right is right, when truth is right and wrong is wrong, I mean, one day you just have to put on that uniform of truth and say, just go out here in a blaze of fire if you have to live for what's right and die by what's right. And that's what hour we're in right now.
That's
so
absolutely correct.
We have to go with it just like so.
Absolutely correct.
Let me go to our second scene.
All right. Make sure I got my seatbelt on.
Yes, sir. Okay. And here.
Now, in closing, the Talmud is the enemy of the people who have received by God the prophets of the Torah. Jesus of 2,000 years ago is my brother.
Yes, sir.
Right.
He was melanin colored.
Yes, sir.
He didn't hate the Jews.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said he was disappointed like Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Prophet Muhammad wanted to convert the white race
Yes, sir. That's right.
to Islam. And they don't want Islam.
Right.
So Allah says to the Prophet, would you grieve yourself to death because they won't believe? See, a prophet wouldn't grieve himself to death if he didn't have the best in mind for those to whom he was teaching and calling to faith.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
He called them to faith with love.
Yes, sir.
So Jewish people, don't think that I hate you.
Right.
I'm solicitous for you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Take it or leave it.
Yes, sir.
Simple and plain.
Very plain.
Simple and plain. And, you know, again, being that this is episode 4, you know, and we're lifting the teachings from the Criterion, Aftermath, the Criterion and Satan's Rage. That title was selected for a very important reason. Our enemy, as the minister stated in the first scene that was shown, liars, murderers, arch deceivers. This is by their nature, though.
Right.
So they want to continuously, when they see the minister is beginning to lift more energy and lift more people, and we're awakening up to divine truth, it's to be expected they were going to be enraged.
Right. That's right.
So they figure with their small minds that, okay, let's take them off social media. Let's take them off of YouTube. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said his greatest followers are in the streets.
Right.
Where do you see the soldiers with the Farrakhan newspaper?
Come on.
We're in the streets. So the work of the Nation of Islam that began way before the digital age was popularized. So you're not deflecting the energy, you're actually intensifying.
Right.
Because
right.
you're forcing the deaf, dumb, and blind, the ones that don't see, to come near that energy. Like, what is it, you know, that unalike is attracting toward them? Like, what is it about these brothers? What it is about these sisters that, man, why they want the minister off this? You know, he seemed like a beautiful brother to me. So it's like, you're forcing the wheels to turn in a different
Mhm.
direction again. And now we're speaking of the youth. They know truth when they hear it,
Mhm.
and again, this is not no pastor that's, and I'm not knocking the black church, but we know for the most part that majority of the leaders at this time from our history, they don't really bring forth the energy that's necessary to give us divine light and divine salvation
Mhm.
in a world like this that we're living in. We can't pretend like we don't see what the enemy is up to
Right.
and say, hey, like you said, brother, just turn the other cheek. Foolishness. No, sir.
Right.
No, sir. Our youth is on our brother Malcolm type of thing by any means necessary. And
Mhm.
it's all out. Now again, we all need guidance, we all need direction. So the more that we lead by example with direction and following our true divine leaders, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the honorable minister Louis Farrakhan, and they'll be able to follow through with what we see.
Right.
We keep the energy in the forefront. And at the end of the day, that Satan rage is going to continue, but it's going to soon.
Yes, sir. Yes,
They're
sir.
going to clash with one another. Case in point, Biden and Trump.
Right.
They're going to have their own civil war, and we just need to stay out the way of white
Right.
folk business.
Right. Right.
Let them handle theirs
Right.
while we build ours.
Right. If we can, because we have a tendency to we want to get so involved with his stuff as opposed to building up our own.
Yes.
But I agree, brother, with everything that you're saying. It's been almost 500 years, if you really look at it. It's been almost 500 years that this chaos has gone on with our people. We're 560 plus years here in the wilderness of North America, where we've been completely stripped of the knowledge of self. Going on 500 years. Just one generation away. If a generation is 30 years, we're only one generation away from being 500 years other than ourselves. And it really is important to understand the truth of what has happened to us.
Yes.
And also recognize the truth that our former slave master has never told us the actual fact. He has never given us the receipts on what has happened to us.
Right. True.
Never.
Right.
It's not in his best interest to do so. It's counterproductive for him.
Yes, sir.
To reveal the reality of our condition.
Yes, sir.
And so for us to have those receipts in our possession, the question is, how did we get them? How could a little black man from Georgia,
yes, sir,
who never completed, he went to the 4th grade, but he didn't complete it.
Yes, sir.
How could he have the information that he has? That, as the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, as the minister said, he said that if any word that he spoke was proven to be untrue, he was willing to pay with his life. The minister, as his student, stands on that.
Yes, sir.
Whereas if you can prove with this man, who doesn't even have a 4th grade education from this world,
yes, sir,
could confound the scientists and the scholars, the wise of this world.
Yes, sir.
If he could produce a teaching that was unable to be disproven.
Yes, sir.
Where did he get it from? We say that he got it from God himself.
That's right.
And that has not been proven to be anything other than the absolute truth.
Absolute truth.
And he said, in regards to these national elections and everything else that we're looking at, the devil promises only to deceive, the Holy Quran says. And all we have ever received is false promises. And so we don't necessarily understand who we are, how we got here, and the reality of the environment that we're in. And we really do function as a man with amnesia. We function as a man with very little, if any, consciousness. You know, one of the things that was disrupted by the pestilence that we see is the Olympics. The Olympics was disrupted.
Yes, sir.
I like watching the Olympics and looking at the different countries and how they present themselves to the world. And I love seeing those countries
Yes.
that all of a sudden, out of nowhere, these European countries or even America got these original people representing them. Where this black man that looks like he came off of Jefferson Ave, you know what I'm saying? How he representing France? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Like how did that take place? You know?
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm looking at all these colonizers.
Yes.
Parading their captives out to represent them.
Go ahead.
And so I enjoy looking at that because there's a history, there's a story behind this that we don't want to talk about. Why? Because there's a quote unquote victory at stake. There's a gold medal at stake. The lessons say that, you know, some of us thought that we'd receive gold for our labor more than we are earning in our own land, you know? And so we see that we're celebrated by these countries that have enslaved us. And we never stop to really look at the reality of our life condition. I just read where Booker T. Washington said that, you know, our problem as black people is we associated labor with degradation and inferiority. So we ran from the kind of labor that it takes to build a nation. And they said that we were so-called free.
Wow.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that there was a time where it was a funny thing to see a white man holding a hammer. And this was true. We did all of the manual labor for this country.
Yes.
And so we not only in our mind's eye viewed manual labor as degrading and inferior work because we were given a picture of the superior one, meaning Caucasians. We never saw him do work.
Right.
So in the same way that in the 15th and 16th centuries in Europe and in England, a sign of superiority in terms of the class system they had was to be fat and pale. Because to be fat and pale meant you didn't have to go outside to work, but because you were fat, that represented that you were still eating well. Well, in the same sense, we looked at the Caucasian, the slave master. Well, he doesn't work.
Right.
He doesn't do manual labor. Well, I want to be like him. I don't want to do that kind of labor. And maybe if I don't have to do that kind of labor and I talk like him and I dress like him, maybe I could be treated like him.
Yes.
But in doing that, we abandoned that which it took to actually build this country. And we forgot that we were the ones that built it. We just built it for someone else. So all that he's standing on was actually our labor. So we have to really step back and understand the truth that will set us free, not here by the physical chains of chattel, but mentally that can cause us to actually see we are the original people. But something happened to us that has caused us to not recognize who we are. So now we come along in another man's name, representing another man's flag, when our flag is right there over your right shoulder, brother. It's the flag of the universe, the sun, moon, and star. That represents the freedom, justice, and equality that as original people, we have the God-given right to exercise if we would actually move and function within the rights that God himself gave and not strive to find ways to get over. We don't strive and achieve in this world. We always have to find a way to get over and and try to navigate. And you don't have to navigate God. It's our nature. You just have to keep breathing.
Yes,
right?
sir.
But you have to navigate and maneuver like a snake of the grafted type to try to get through all these pitfalls and these traps and all these things. You can't just breathe and be yourself in this place and be successful unless you're trying to be successful in another man's name. So all praise is due to Allah that God himself came.
Yes. Master Father Muhammad. Yes.
Because how else could the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad get what he's got?
That's right.
And how could he teach it? And I'll end that point on this, brother. You can tell a tree by the fruit that it bears.
Go ahead.
And the fruit of Islam.
Yes.
Every piece of fruit that comes from the tree of Islam is absolutely supreme to any fruit grown anywhere.
Oh man!
And each one, brother, it's beautiful.
Yes.
And each piece of that fruit has seeds.
Yes.
That's how you know it's real and not grafted. It's got seeds.
Go ahead.
Watermelon don't got seeds. That's not even a real watermelon. That's something grafted. So each one of the seeds, each one of the fruit of Islam has seeds.
Yes,
and
sir.
Those seeds grow and they sprout, and you can see really that the harvest is right because those fruits from the tree, some of those fruits, just because you don't recognize it doesn't mean it's not from the tree. I was in Trinidad when I was younger, and we had some oranges. Don't you know, brother, those oranges were green? Wow. They're called oranges, but they were green. They were from an original orange tree, right?
Wow.
But we might not have recognized them because we weren't used to seeing them. So when you find these young people out there, when they have come from that tree of the teachers of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, they might not look the same, but they're still dropping those same seeds, and it's still causing truth to spring up. And that truth wasn't developed by this world. That truth came from God himself. And in the modern time, that truth is represented by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Yes, sir.
Period.
Beautiful.
With a T at the end of it. Period. And all praises due to Allah.
Oh, man. Brother, very heavy, very heavy. While you were saying those beautiful jewels and knowledge that you were dropping, it made me think of a Public Enemy album title, Fear of a Black Planet.
Fear of a Black Planet, brother.
You know, and that's part of Satan's rage. When you were mentioning that tree of Islam from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the fruit that it bears, it's that fear that Satan recognizes. That same what Hoover was talking about, the rising of a black Messiah.
Come on.
So this is what they fear, and they're hoping, praying, and wishing. Well, I don't know if they're praying. I'll take that part out. But they're hoping and wishing that for some reason that the nation will fall again. But they know better because they've been looking.
They do.
Well, they were looking for the Black Messiah, and they said, "Oh well, he's been here." And they thought when the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad departed that it was over. But then again, rose again that mighty nation, led by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Yes, sir.
So they know that these seeds that have been planted from the divine eternal leader to his chief helper and leader, those seeds are going to continue to germinate.
Absolutely.
In his absence.
Absolutely.
See, we don't want him to go, but he told us we have to understand.
Yes, sir.
We have to understand. But he's not leaving us in that sense.
Right.
Because as long as we hold tight to his divine teaching, we don't forget. And see, the enemy knows better. Right. And that's why there's such rage, you know.
Yeah, he mad, brother. He mad. It kind of makes me laugh. Kind of makes me laugh, brother.
Absolutely.
Like he's so mad. You know how he'll be like, "You mad, bro?" You know, it make me laugh when he get mad.
Yes.
How do you fight God?
Come on now.
Like
Come
how
on, man.
do you even try to do that? How do you formulate a strategy to fight God?
I
Like
mean,
what's that meeting like?
that's one of a title off one of my favorite TV shows, Martin. He had an episode called "Your Arms Are Too Short to Box with God."
Your
Oh,
arms
man.
are too short to buy. You like Dino from the Flintstones or something, brother. It don't work like that. I mean,
No, sir.
you
No,
I mean,
sir.
you could try, but you know the outcome.
Oh, man.
You already know the outcome, brother.
You got to know better.
You should
Got
know
it.
better.
America, y'all got to do better.
Do better. Be better.
Be better. That's right, brother. Absolutely right.
We got another clip, brother.
Yes, sir. I'm pulling up right
Oh,
now, brother.
yes, sir.
This is the final scene for today's
Okay.
lesson from my beloved teacher.
The reason they hate me, because they know I represent the end of their civilization. I represent the uncovering of their wickedness, fulfilling the judgment that God has come to bring
slow to pull
down
up,
on
brother.
America and the world. And God's mercy is so great that when he pronounces his judgment, he gives you time to accept it. Because you are not as wise as God. So sometimes when he delivers his judgment, you have a problem with God. And when Master Farrakhan came in 1930, he issued a judgment against America on our behalf. Do you remember that? What did he say? He said America was #1 on his list. He had some other European nations that followed suit with their wickedness on the black, the brown, the indigenous people of our planet. It's judgment time now. It's time for us to reap what we have sown. So that's why they hate me, Americans, because they are wicked and they know they cannot say, I'm lying on them. They just say he's a bigot. He's anti-Semitic. He called us termites. I never called you a termite.
No, sir.
No, I did not. And if you study my words carefully, I was talking to a percentage of people that Master Fard Muhammad had given us in our studies. 85% of the people who don't know the law of cause and effect, who are poison animal eaters, who believe in a mystery God. But the 10%, they know God is real.
Yes, sir.
They are the bloodsuckers of the poor. So if you are a bloodsucker and the poor is who you're sucking from, you don't want to stop sucking. So anybody that points out the sucker and puts fire to the sucker where he falls off what he's sucking, that's the enemy to the bloodsucker. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
But I never said what I said out of any degree of hate.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. So
Brother,
as
let
we
me
can see,
say this about the minister, brother.
Yes.
I have to say this. He has such a beautiful soul,
yes,
such a beautiful spirit,
yes, sir.
and it's so difficult when you don't have that.
Yes,
Then it's difficult for you to understand someone else having that. Because each of us has a tendency to project on others parts of self. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said it's hard for you to think that a black man could be good. But this man doesn't have hate. He doesn't speak, even when he speaks with passion, there's no anger or vitriol in it.
Right, right.
You know, you can you've seen rappers or even singers perform with passion, and you don't mistake their passion for anything other than passion.
Right.
The minister is so sincere in what he says.
Absolutely.
But now I gotta tell you, man, I've been in deep sleeps. I've been in deep sleeps where, you know, that bed felt good in the morning, right?
Yes, sir.
And the alarm clock goes off.
Yes.
And I'm asleep, but
Right.
I get angry at my alarm clock. And I'm the one that said it.
Yes,
And I'm
sir.
mad as hell
Yes, sir.
that my sleep is being disturbed. And now you start hitting snooze, you mad, and you know, you might even throw, you know, I had to, when I was younger, come up with tactics to put my alarm clock across the room to force me to not just wake up, but have to get up and walk across the room to turn it off. And by walking across the room, I woke up. So I say that to say he's simply waking people up to the truth.
Yes, sir.
And if you've been comfortable in your slumber,
Yes.
that alarm clock
Yes.
can be offensive. And in this case, it's not you that set the alarm, but it's God himself.
Go ahead.
Throughout the scriptures has
Yes.
said what he was going to do for his people. Now, the only question then that can exist is, who are his people?
Yes,
And
sir.
those who have been going around, as they say, perpetrating a fraud and fronting as if they were chosen, and taught us that they were chosen.
Yes.
See, when that takes place, now we're faced with the reality that those who are being revealed that they're not chosen. See everybody waking up. See, the devil, he was never asleep. Lucifer is an angel of light.
Yes.
And in fact, the devil recognized who Jesus was before the disciples.
Yes, sir.
And so we shouldn't be shocked that the wicked of this world are upset with the one that's waking everyone else up. The book says there's a lion asleep in Judah. Well, who will wake him? See, the minister's the one waking the lion.
Yes.
He at one time was the lion until someone woke him.
Yes, sir.
And now he's doing that same thing. The beautiful thing about a good teacher is that he is happy when he sees his student now stepping into his shoes and now going out and teaching what he once was taught. So I just had to say that about the minister. You know, he's just telling the truth. It's not out of hate. It's just the truth.
Yes.
And you know, the only reason that you would hate what he's saying is if you hate the truth.
Pretty much.
The Holy Quran says if my reminding you of the messages of Allah is hard on you, on Allah do I rely.
Yes.
If you mad, go box God.
Yes, sir.
Let me know how that turns out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, man, brother. How the minister just laid it down. And again, he's revealing, you know, that's why, you know, it's important to be studious, you know. We don't have to do much but stay in prayer, focus, work, and study.
Study, that's right. Read.
Because he puts it all in front of us, what we need to know and how to understand what we have to continuously do. So I said that to say this again, and I have to keep reiterating this point because just like you stated, this is nothing about hate. It's all about truth. Right. It's all about truth. And this is the aftermath, the criterion and Satan's rage. Look outside, brothers and sisters. I don't care where you are in the world today. The roots of white supremacy are so venomous.
Yes.
That they're understanding that they're losing their hold on society. So when it's natural for the enemy, when they're losing control, they go into a rage. They hurt.
Right.
They don't care who they hurt.
Right.
They hurt themselves to hold on to this finite power that they're trying to hold on to. So when the minister stated, I represent the uncovering of their wickedness, fulfilling the judgment that God has come to bring down on America and the world. I mean, that in itself, if we could do a few thousand shows just unpacking that statement there.
Right.
Just that one statement, because it has so much into it. Satan bears witness to divine truth, bears witness to the divine light.
Yes.
Brothers and sisters, just think for a second. Why would they try to tell you not to listen to the minister? Why would they, at the same time, every year, and this is no knock on our brother. We love our brother. This is not about our brother. It's about the system and the hate. But every year, they want to put out some new or play the same movie of our brother Malcolm, or the same storyline. Or it's always something, but at the same time, every year, right around, before they little hell days, they holidays, and when it's time for our people to start going back in their pockets. So it's a continuous cycle.
Right.
And it's like we keep falling victim to the same spin cycle. Like we have to awaken to this divine message. But like my brother stated, we are slowly but surely doing this. And the enemy knows this.
Yes, he does.
So we just have to keep doing what we're doing, brothers and sisters. Stay holding fast to the knowledge. Stay holding fast to the truth. And understand that the fall of America is real.
Ooh.
The fall of America is real. It's happening. It's been happening. But man, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad put it out there, when you have these days where it's 90 degrees and you turn around the next day, it's below zero.
Yes, sir, brother. Brother. We went from 80 to freezing.
Yeah.
Like that just happened.
Yes, sir.
We're not talking about theory. You know what I'm saying? God is real, We keep thinking some spooky Casper the Ghost, thing is going to take place. God is real, man. These things are really happening. We can look around and bear witness that what this man has been telling us is taking place before our eyes. You are absolutely correct, brother. No doubt about it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. This is something that we have to really just stay focused, brothers and sisters. Stay focused.
Yes.
Because these coming days, the enemy has stated they're expecting their rabid children to act the fool if their illustrious leader loses his throne.
Right.
If Pharaoh is dethroned, they are depicting that cities are to be in an uproar.
Mm-hmm.
So that furthermore should let you know that the type of system that we are up against and why it's so important to turn toward divine light. I mean, we have to, it's right at your fingertips. It's right at your fingertips. Let's not continuously to cheat ourselves away from seeing. It's like when you wake up in the morning, you got to get the sleep out your eye. And that first bright light, like if you knocked out sleep and mama might come in the room, wake you up for class, wake you up to get ready for school, and turn that light on you, like it'd be like that. I understand because the light is so bright. But we're here to help guide you. We are your brothers in the struggle.
Yes, sir.
So
that's the truth.
We want to begin to close this out. But again, at the end of the day, brothers and sisters, it's just most important that we always keep in mind that, separation is the only solution, and before we get to that point, I just want to, definitely got to close out with our advertisements and a few closing words and statements, because like I said, we at a critical hour right now.
Yes,
it's November 1st, and it's been A lot of our people been outside, still not obeying the quarantine laws that's been put upon us by the Most High. Like this
Yes.
pestilence is not man made, brothers and sisters. I mean, we can believe what we choose to, but obviously it's obviously something more to this pestilence. If a second wave is upon us, like we just got to stay focused. I had
Yes.
to repeat that
Yes.
again. We must stay focused and keep our minds and our eyes on the prize. You know, we have a divine leader in front of us. You know, that's your brother, our brother. You
Yes.
know, he doesn't come to speak at us like he's above. He speaks to the minds and spirits of us all.
Yes.
And again, that's your brother too. Regardless of your deity, your whatever you believe in. If you want to stand for freedom, justice, and equality, you're at the right place.
That's right. That's exactly
Right
right.
place. So let me go ahead and pull up these last few things. And brothers and sisters, will allow you to enjoy the rest of your day. Let's see here.
This been wonderful, brother. This
Yes, sir.
been a good build, brother. I thank you for the opportunity to be able to build on all that our minister is sharing with us.
Yes.
It's a blessing without question, brother.
Yes, it is, man.
Gotta stay in the study. Gotta stay in the study.
Have to. We most certainly have to. Most certainly have to. If I can get this pulled up here. One moment, brothers and sisters. While I'm working toward this, brother, any thoughts on today's build?
Brother, my thought is it's incredible to me how much wisdom the minister is able to pack in one sitting, in one lecture, you know?
Yes, sir.
I mean, can just take your mind and the beautiful thing is then, you know, you have the opportunity to take it apart and then do the research for yourself.
Yes,
so
sir.
that you can, you know the truth for yourself, not just because someone says it. The minister is a beautiful teacher, but he's a beautiful example
Yes,
of
sir.
one who studies and has studied.
Yes, sir.
And so for us to be able to have such a great teacher, and then for us to be able to go and study what he says so that we know for ourselves, and then we can go and share that, you know.
Yes, sir.
The book says, you know, by my stripes you are healed. And the pain and the suffering that the minister has gone through so that he can share the teachings with us.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, by his struggle, we're able to become edified and, you know, achieve a level of understanding for ourselves so that then we can go and turn around and help our families and continue to help our people. So it's a blessing, brother. And again, you know, an honor to be able to just build with you, brother. It's good. We've been taught steel sharpens steel,
Yes,
you
sir.
know. So that's part of it, you know, to be able to come into the nation of Islam and have a brotherhood where you can build with brothers that want for you what they want for themselves, and they're striving to get sharp, and they're going to strive to sharpen you, and we together going to sharpen each other, just like those, you know, those rough stones go through the mill and they smooth each other out so that you can see
Yes.
all of their unique striations and they all complement each other. You know, it's beautiful, brother. So
Yes, indeed.
just,
Yes,
just happy to
indeed.
be here, brother. Praise be to Allah.
Yes, indeed. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that, brother. And again, you know, I have to thank our student minister, Brother Kenneth. He came to me months ago, you know, and again, brothers and sisters, you know, this brotherhood is so beautiful. I mean, it'll be officially 2 years for me being in the nation, December 23rd. But I
Praise be
promise
to
you,
Allah.
it feels like I've been around for so long, but it's been only going on 2 years, man. But it's just this family,
Yes, sir.
you know. It's something that like I could say for myself in a brief testimony that, you know, that you wish that you have, you know, and I didn't have that amongst my family. you know, being, you know, ones that strive for knowledge, strive for
Yes.
information, which is in today's society, well, it's getting better nowadays, but you're treated as an outcast because,
Right.
you know, when
Right.
when you're not going with the flow of what they're telling you to believe, you're like, no, there's got to be more. You know what I mean? And we are amongst one another, a family that knows there's much more, and we're being shown that we're not what they want us to think is crazy.
Right.
We know the truth. We're learning the truth. We have
Yes.
divine
Yes.
leadership that shows us that we were not wrong. We were chosen. And brothers and sisters, a lot of you out here today that may not be in the ranks per se, that have been chosen. Your light is shining. You know, just keep dusting, brushing your shoulders off, and keep striving forward. You know,
That's it.
keep sharpening,
That's it.
as my brother says, sharpening that steel, and keep building, because your time is here. You know, and we have to just keep believing in self, loving ourselves, and fighting for what is right. You know, and our time will be amongst us to where we can share nothing but love amongst one another.
That's
Nothing
right.
but love.
Yes, sir.
Nothing but love. So let me go ahead and first share this one screen, and just real quick here. Okay, there we go. Okay. You able to see that, brother?
Absolutely.
Okay. So again, brothers and sisters. Oh, matter of fact, let me finish that thought I was having. Speak about my brother Kenneth. I have to finish this because, you know,
Yes, sir.
Like I said, that's the beauty of our nation. That's the beauty of a lot of us carry these characteristics of from the minister, you know, where that ability to see it, a certain quality in somebody, and help that come up out of, you know, me myself, I'm a writer, a poet,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yes,
and
sir.
aspire to do other things. But my brother came to me and said that, you know, obviously he saw something in me, you know, and we broke bread on the idea to bring forth a podcast, what we call a Godcast.
Yes, sir.
And we had an idea to do it in a format of you know, actual with certain individuals working on like a radio setting, so somewhat, but be it the will of Allah, you know, that the pestilence came down and we had to get creative, you know. And my first initial thought as I was planning on, you know, and the beauty of this too, I initially wanted to do a podcast already, but you know, it was just timing, you know. So once my brother brought it to my attention and I went through a few training classes to build more knowledge, immediately I said, man, who would be, because I didn't want to do it by myself, you know, being fresh in the teachings. You want that right, you know, brother that you can lean on and continue to sharpen your mind and lift you up. And at the same time, that has this different energy, you know, always a pleasant brother to be around. My brother that I'm mentioning and speaking of is my brother Jason Muhammad. Man, first person that came to my mind, I lost brother Jason. So I had to reach out to my brother, you know, and he welcomed it, and here we are. You know, made a few changes as far as the name and things of that nature, but here we are. You know, Solution Separation 1090, and this is only the beginning, brothers and sisters. I know you may see that, you know, we're utilizing the web, and you might see me pulling up certain things. You know, in due time things get better, but we had to start. You know, we had
that's right.
We had to start here, and it's most important that, again, while we having this build, we are sharpening one another.
That's right.
But in tune, and at the same time, family, you know, this is for us, the totality of everybody, you know, to be able to reflect and especially in this hour, to have instrumentation that we can use to shed light in this dark time, you know. And I don't want to get too deep on it, but it's like I said, this is an honor and a pleasure, you know. And like I said, I love the brotherhood. I love my brothers. I love my sisters, man. I mean that wholeheartedly, because we could be anywhere in the world, but we're here. You know, we're here with our Messiah. So let me go ahead, brothers and sisters. Please pardon me on that, but you know, sometimes we just you get in that moment, and you got to just share what's on your heart. You got to share what's on your heart.
Praise be to Allah.
Okay. There we go. Okay, so this again this was part 2 of Aftermath, the Criterion and Satan's Rage.
Yes, sir.
And you know you saw some of these images in the previous show, but again, it's just to drive that point home.
Mm-hmm.
To drive that point home that, you know, we don't forget where we come from. We don't forget who is the reason behind why we're here.
Brother, that's right. That's right.
We're gonna keep the minister out front always and forever. Aftermath, the Criterion Satan's Rage Part 2. You know, just again, you know, just to see our brother. And again, brothers and sisters, if you have not tapped into this issue, volume 39, number 40, go on to Final Call, digitalfinalcall.com, and check it out. There he is. The Criterion. Our brothers and sisters, today, our brother student minister Ishmael Muhammad presented a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful lecture, which is available right now on NOI.org. Put the Muslim Program to Congress.
Right.
Which was lifted from Message to the Black Man in America. But brothers and sisters, you can get a visual of the Muslim Program on every issue of the Farrakhan newspaper.
That's right.
That very back page. That very back page, you go right there and you can go over what the Muslims want and what the Muslims believe.
Yes.
And when you read and digest and slowly grasp an understanding, you will see too that this will be what you should want and what you believe.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's only nourishment for our divinity and our salvation, brothers and sisters.
That's right. That's exactly right.
The last issue that has been released from our Final Call newspaper was building on the national elections, volume 40, number 4.
Mm-hmm.
And brothers and sisters, do yourself a divine favor. Again, if you haven't had the opportunity to get your own copy, go on to digitalfinalcall.com. You definitely want to read page 19.
Absolutely.
Get to page 19, where the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is building on the national election, something that was lifted from the Final Call of, the Fall of America, his book, 1973. Here we are in 2020.
Here we are. Come on.
Go figure. That shows you the power of Almighty God that we serve. You know, you got to know that brother was led by that divine energy, who came in the person of Master Father Muhammad. Then you turn to page 20. If Satan cast out Satan, how can his kingdom stand?
How can his kingdom stand?
Part 2. Woo! Yes, sir. Man, the minister putting it down again, just lifting information for us to get a better understanding of what is happening when we are cutting one another down about voting for another ruler. And again, just tapping into the national election. You know, brothers and sisters, go on to page 19 and take a look and read that article. Please do yourself that favor. And I have to lift this.
Yes, sir.
I had to lift this, man. Big major salute to our good brother, Busta Rhymes. Extension level event, part 2. Or extension level event 2, pardon me, the wrath of God, which our brother, you know, which is in the nation of gods and earth, you know, our family,
right?
5% nation. The brother featured some divine words from the minister on track 6, I want to say it is.
Yes, sir. That's right.
The wrath of God. Beautiful, beautiful track. Beautiful, beautiful teaching. And then my brother, he took it a level higher. The brother did something I don't think nothing has been done before within hip hop or just in music in general. He titled a song after Master Farrakhan Muhammad.
Right.
Man, brother's fearless, and I love that. And I love that. And this later on this evening on finalcall.com, he will be amongst having an interview with our beloved sister Starla Muhammad, managing editor from the Final Call newspaper, and our good brother Dr. Wesley Muhammad. I definitely will be tuning in.
Yes, sir.
I definitely
Yes, sir. I know
Uh,
that's right.
just thinking of, I haven't listened to the whole album in its totality. I went through majority of it, but I had to sit down and really digest some of it again. But what I've heard thus far, man, that brother was putting it down, and I'm not surprised because that's what he does.
Right.
You know,
Right.
one of the few brothers that really knows how to bring teaching and still, you know, as we say, edutain. You
Right.
know,
That's right. Yes, sir.
great
Yes, sir.
edutainer. Because we know when it comes to entertaining, that brother there definitely he brings a different type of energy on that
Mhm. Yeah, brother.
So,
Yeah.
but just to hear our brother, you know, something that he said was 20 years in the making.
Mm-hmm.
The second, because he had a one album extension level event, one that came out, I believe, in '98.
Right.
You know, or something to that effect. But either way, it took him a while to get this one done, and the way he brought it back and bringing to life what's happening in the world, and
Yes.
you know, bringing up the energy of the white supremacy, and had the God Rock him on track one. I mean,
Yes,
he
brought it, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
he did something that was very necessary, man, and I really appreciate it. I really do, because you know I
Mhm.
love art. I love art.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that brother definitely big salute to Busta Rhymes. Then I definitely have to present our good advertisements for our city.
Yes, sir.
Let me get that up, and didn't mean to keep you so long, brothers and sisters, but sometimes you just don't want to go, you know. Sometimes you just don't want to go.
Right.
But we are at the end, and we just definitely have to share Solution Separation 1090, brought to you by Muhammad Study Group of Rochester.
Rochester.
That's right, the Mighty Rock
In the
585.
building. In the building.
Always. Go ahead, brothers and sisters,
Pound for
and visit.
pound. I'm trying to tell you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Know what it is. Pound for pound.
That's a whole fact.
Trying to
That's
tell you.
another actual fact about the Mighty ROC. Visit noirochester.org, brothers and sisters, to get more information of how you can join, how you can build, how you can just keep yourself guided in a righteous manner.
Yes, sir.
And the more energy of doing that righteous behavior, visit digital.finalcall.com
Mm-hmm.
to build on any issue possible. You know, like I said, we have the last one that came out, the national elections, which was volume 40, number 4. But again, brothers and sisters, if you have missed the opportunity to get a copy from your brothers while they're out pushing the paper, go ahead and visit this website, and you can stay in tune with this divine energy, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Final Call Radio.
Love it.
Man.
Love it.
Yes, sir.
Love it.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we here in our city, we have something called 104 WDKX. I'm on Final Call Radio.
I know that's right.
I'm on Final Call Radio. I mean,
yeah.
I don't need to hear anything else. You want to make sure that you're staying in tune with how to elevate yourself, not staying on a low level, horizontal. We on a vertical plane.
Right.
And this is how we get charged up. And you can hear 24 hours a day, nonstop elevation from our minister.
That's yes.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Man, that was such a great creation. Our online bookstore. Again, visit noirochester.org.
Yes, sir.
And get your hands on the monumental books by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They are available in our stores today. You get your Fall of America, How to Eat to Live, book 1 and book 2.
And 2. Come on.
Message to the Black Man in America. Our Savior has arrived, you know, and as we continuously build, we will have more books available, but we need your support, brothers and sisters. So the more you shop with us and build our Black-owned business, we're able to expand and bring more knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to our brothers and sisters, not only in Rochester, but across the U.S. of A.
That's
So
right.
go ahead and make your purchases today, brothers and sisters. Allende family ties. Gentlemen are distinguished and fly when wearing Allende family ties.
You know, I got mine on.
I got mine on as well, brother, and I
Yeah.
definitely got to tap in with you. I got a few colors I need, so I got to see what's going on. You
We
know,
had that conversation, no doubt.
yes, sir. Contact brother Jason Muhammad. Family ties. Family ties.bowties at hotmail.com. Get you some of these ties, brothers and sisters. Sisters, you know, for your husband, your brothers, your nephews, your sons. Keep them fresh with these ties, brothers. You know what to do.
That's right.
Go ahead and tap in. Taste of Supreme Bakery. Taste of Supreme is a gourmet bakery located in Rochester, New York, which offers a wide variety of gluten-free and vegan cakes, pies, cookies, and various baked goods. Visit the home of the bean guy, Brother Asad Muhammad, tasteofsupreme.com. Visit and check out our young brother, Mighty Young Lion, handling his business, bringing forth great treats for you to eat and stay on your feet. Abidan and Baraka's beautiful pastries. Contact Sister Baraka. Brother, I had a bean pie from Sister Baraka last week. Oh, my goodness. Brother. Woo.
I know.
That's all I can say. That's all I can say.
I know.
It was delicious. I'm not going to express how fast I ate it, but that's not for today's broadcast. But, man, that pie was wonderful.
I like getting the ones that are like this size and just putting ice cream on. Let me stop. I can't. Yes, sir, brother. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. So contact Sister Baraka at barakam@hotmail.com for your interest on getting some of her flavorful pies and pastries.
Yeah, crazy. Yes, sir.
Key Bank. You want to open up a bank account, checking account, business account. Go ahead and contact my brother Saeed. He's at the 70 Lau Avenue at that branch. And also, again, brothers and sisters, brother definitely is moving those automobiles. So if you need your vehicle, contact our beloved brother and he can assist you with that. But again, for all your banking needs and banking services, get on down to Key Bank at 70 Lau Avenue and ask for Brother Saeed and he will be glad to assist you. And for some beautiful visual artwork, contact Sister Nzinga Muhammad at www.artpal.com/Queen Nzinga and get your hands on some of this wonderful artwork. And I'm pretty sure if you have some ideas in mind, the sister will be glad to create those visions for you, bring them to life. So do yourself a favor and contact our sister. And then we have our good brother, Brother Allende, Prince Allende. Visit his website to get your hands on some great merchandise. You see, today is the 1st, so we're 10 days away from the release of his EP, the Riot EP, and he has merchandise in regards to the Riot EP for sale. Support our brother. Very wise young visionary handling his business. I'm very proud of that young brother.
Yes, sir.
And I love the work that he puts in. Keeps me inspired to do what I love to do. Boom, there it is.
There it is. Yes, sir.
The times through the supreme wisdom.
Yes, sir.
Brothers and sisters, you know, for those that have made their purchase, I greatly appreciate it. Spread the word, share the word. We need more. We need more. We need more. We have another one coming soon.
Okay.
That's how it works. Another one coming soon. I will be sharing that information. So visit pricespoetrhetoric.wordpress.com. Donate, share, and support. Greatly appreciate it. And there's our family. That's the mighty ROC.
Yes, sir.
Every time, on time, all the time. You know how we do it.
Right.
You know how we are, brothers and sisters. So again, it's always an honor and pleasure. Before we close, I just want to pull up one thing here. Find it. Okay, there we go. Let me get this off the screen. All right, there we are. So, brothers and sisters, this was definitely episode 4. A lengthy one, but for a good reason.
Strong, brother. It was strong. Wasn't too long. It was just so strong.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, brother. Aftermath, the Criterion and Satan Rage. So if you haven't had the chance to check out part 1, tap in. We have a YouTube channel. You go on to Priceless Poet Rhetoric YouTube channel. You can visualize and get your food and energy from part 1. Definitely will have part 2 uploaded soon. Also visit our channel, Solution Separation 1090 on Anchor FM, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. You see the banner below, brothers and sisters. You had on our Anchor page, you have the opportunity to donate and support. Trust me, we welcome it all. You know, the support is greatly necessary and needed, so we can continue to build this platform and take it to the next level. And stay tuned for episode 5 coming soon.
Yes, sir.
Divine chastisement for iniquitous behavior. Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my.
I know that's right, brother.
So, brothers and sisters, again, it's always an honor and pleasure. My brother, I appreciate you. I thank you.
Appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you and thank you for the opportunity. Praise
Yes,
be to Allah.
Yes, sir.
Keep
Brothers
going.
and sisters, we're going to keep this flow, keep this show going and going and going. Keep in mind, there's one thing, brothers and sisters, be clear. This is not an illusion. Separation is the only solution. Divine peace, divine love, divine light. Stay safe, family.